What if I told you that 2025 is not just another year? It's not an ordinary year. But in 2025, we are at the base year of a new financial era. Now, it's not because of politics, it's not because of luck, it's not because of anything, but because history, technology, and timing just collided in 2025. And if you miss this window, the next decade will leave you in serious financial struggle, no matter how hard you work. Let me tell you something about the wealthy people, because I've been studying wealth a lot, and I move with a couple of them. One thing that shocks me about the wealthy people is they spend considerable time studying shifts, while the poor people are busy working for the next paycheck, focusing on the next paycheck. Wealthy people study shifts. And this is exactly what I'm going to share with you tonight. There's a shift going on. And most people never even know that a shift is going on until long after the shift. Let me give you an example that most of you relate to. Who would have imagined 6-7 years ago that there's something called remote work? It existed, but it was very, very remote. Many of you never met anybody who was working remotely before 2020. But a significant shift happened in the way the world works in 2020. Work was redefined, workplace was totally redefined. Productivity was completely, totally redefined. Massive shift. And today, we live in a world where hundreds of millions of people never go to an office, a place called office. They work from their bedrooms, from the train, from everywhere. All they are required is to deliver on their productivity. Nobody requires them. And then if you work remotely, type remote, type I work remotely, or just say remote work. If you work remotely, just to prove what I'm talking about, just type remote and then put your country in bracket. Go ahead and do it. If you work remotely, just to let you know, this was a tectonic shift, but only very few people caught on. And then people who caught on and companies who caught on time, like Zoom. Zoom went from one insignificant struggling company in 2020 to a multi-billion dollar corporation overnight because they leveraged on that shift. Yeah, you see in the chart you can see remote work. People are working remotely. Now it's a shift. And there are people who, that's remote work. UK from Leo, remote work. Now, people who are born today will grow up thinking that was normal, but it was a major shift and many people missed it. Now, 2025, we are at the base of another tectonic shift that will create seismic dimension earthquake in your finances, in the way you live. The next 5 years is going to create multi-millionaires and billionaires. And then the people who don't catch on this shift that I'm talking about tonight will be shocked. You'll be left at the mercy of people who catch this shift. Remember, the poor people focus on their paycheck, the next meal. But the wealthy people study the shifts, like the one I'm about to share with you tonight. The shifts are massive. Let me just give you a few pointers, and then I will unpack them. And then if you stay behind to the end, I'm going to give you 3 very practical shifts and leverages that you can apply. Because what I'm teaching, like in the Financial Fitness Challenge, my mentorship group, I've been warning them that what I'm focusing on is systems. I know we talk about stock recommendations and all that in the group, but it's not just about stock recommendations or some quick fix way to make money. create a YouTube, whatever. I'm talking about systems. The rich build systems. The poor people repeat tasks. So you can be repeating that, whatever it is you're doing on YouTube, repeating it and then seeing a few $1,000s every month, another, but you're still repeating tasks. But it's more superior to build a system that allows you to make money, to manage it, and to multiply it automatically. And at the base of it is understanding systems and understanding. So tonight, I am talking to you on why 2025 is your last chance to build wealth before the financial beast system makes you obsolete. And I can assure you, the financial beast system is alive and breathing today. And if you don't understand the system, and if you don't catch on this shift, and you are still living the way we used to make money, 1960, 1950, 1900, it's going to be hard for you. So take everything you're going to hear tonight very, very serious. I said I was going to give you some pointers, and then I will dive deep into it. Pointer number 1, AI is now free. Just a few years ago, 3-4 years ago, this was like a joke. We're just talking about AI, but within 2 years, within the last 12 months, the explosion in AI is frightening. And then it is sad that many of you don't even know what AI is. You're not using it yet. Especially those of you in the later half of your life. You're feeling left behind. We're going to change that thing tonight. The second thing is that information is now global. You can sell your knowledge to someone in Canada, in Kenya, in Kansas City, New York, Hong Kong, Australia, Nigeria, South Africa, Liberia, from your room. Case in point, like I'm doing right now. And then many of you are joining in, listening from different countries. Type your countries here. Let's prove what I'm telling you about. Because this is the new shift. Did you know that 10 years, 20 years ago, before I could reach you, type your country, type where you're watching from here so that I can mention it. So I can mention it and then prove the point live in this live session. Did you know that 20 years ago, to be able to talk to people like you from different countries, I would have to have $1 million. So you can ask the tele-evangelists how much they spent every week to reach people from different parts of the world. And today, we have that shift from my room. Okay, now, look at the countries. Keep mentioning your countries. Look at the countries mentioned here. Of course, Nigeria is here. Let me use my glasses. Okay, so there's Nigeria. There's Commonwealth from South Africa. There's Senegal. There's Ireland. There's UK. There's Congo, DRC. There's Uganda. There's France. There's USA. Look at that. There's Ghana. There's Kenya. There's Malawi. Look at that. And then very soon we have people from the Caribbean who usually join us. We have people from St. Lucia. We have people from Ethiopia. We have people even from Sudan, from Somalia, from everywhere. This is from India. Look at all the countries here. It's a massive shift. And many of us are sleepwalking in it. We are sleepwalking in. Look at Italy. And then we've had Germany. We've had literally most countries in the world join in these daily live sessions. So, information is global and you can sell your knowledge to anybody, anywhere in the world, from wherever. I'm going to be unpacking that. Look at Mozambique. The countries keep coming. India, Mozambique. Amazing. Now, the other thing is, you don't need a degree. Degree is the old system. It's dead. It's dead. Look at Israel. Its degrees are dead in 2025 in the coming economy. Now, so like I tell students and tell people who go to school, don't go to school hoping that you are going to make money in this coming decade, in 2025, that school will give you money. That's not the reason you go to school. You go to school, for instance, if you are studying medicine, you go to school to practice your passion. School is not the source of money. Just look around you at the people with so many degrees sitting at home doing nothing. Look around you. Don't take my word for it. Is school how to make money? How is it going for you? All the degrees you have. You've had degrees, several degrees. You are 45. You are 52 with your degrees. You know, we used to say, I have a degree in chemical engineering. I have a degree in architecture. How is that going for you? Because you are applying old, how did Jesus put it? He said, you put new wine in new wineskin. But some of you are putting old wine or new wine of 2025 and coming in the old wineskin. Like go to school, get a degree, come out and look for a job. Who does that today? You're looking for a job in 2025. In this economy, then it means that you're not paying attention to what is going on. So you don't need a degree. I'm not saying you should not go to school. Please go to school, but just bear in mind that you're not going to school so that you come out and make money. You can still go to school, but you need a digital system. I keep emphasizing system for making money. The old way of making money is dead. Somebody type it. I know I'm sounding, how do I put it? I know I'm sounding hyped. Because usually when you feel like, when one is a voice crying out in the wilderness, that's how it feels. Like to many of you, what I'm saying is shocking. It's already shocking and looking like a hype. But it is not. Because 5 years, 35 years from now, you come back and watch this video, you will understand why I'm shouting, this way. The old way of making money is dead. But so many of us are still clinging to it. And what is the old way of making money? Work and spend, repeat. Work and spend, repeat. Wow. You're doing that in 2025? The next decade will be extremely harsh on you because the old way of making money is dead. Let me drop some quick data. Before you think I'm making this up, there's very hard data to what I am telling you. Now, according to Bloomberg, over $68 trillion, big T, is being transferred from boomers to Gen X's and Gen Z. 68 trillion, according to Bloomberg. Worldwide, there's a massive wealth transfer that is happening as we speak. There is a tectonic financial shift going on. According to Goldman Sachs, the creator economy, which is the one that you and I are participating in right now, is $250 billion. $250 billion. And then they project that in 2027, in 2 years, that it's going to be almost $500 billion, $480 billion creator economy. And you find young boys who didn't go to university using AI, creating faceless videos and earning $50,000 a month. And they're just 21-year-old, 19-year-old. And you, well, you're 40-something year, you're 50-something year, you're still doing the old thing. Work and spend, repeat. Whoa! How can you compete with this 19-year-old? Using AI tools to create faceless true crime videos. I know who I'm talking about. It's not one person, it's not two people. And it doesn't require anything. Because remember, AI is more intelligent and more brilliant than 99.9% of the workforce. I use it myself, and I can tell you, it's frightening to think that somebody could be missing this. If you don't pick anything so far, just understand that the old way of making money is dead. You are clinging to a dead thing. You're clinging to a dead thing, and it might not hit you until in just a few months, who knows, or few years, who knows, you find it extremely difficult to survive. Okay, now the other thing is that in Nigeria, for instance, the naira has lost, according to data, has lost 70% of its value in 5 years. But stock investors in US dollars within the same period gained 300% within the same 5 years, within the same 5-year window, because the old way of making money is gone. And so the salary you earned 5 years ago is nothing. That's why many of you are complaining, because the salary you earned 5 years ago used to do something for you. Now you can't pay rent, you can't buy a car. You can't buy a car. 5 years ago, you could get a very decent car like Toyota Corolla. Very decent Toyota Corolla for 2 million. 5 years ago, 2.4 million. And you could get a decent Camry, Toyota Camry, for 1.6 million because Camry was cheaper than Toyota Corolla. I suppose it's because it was the most popular car for Uber and Bolt at the time. But today, if you do not have 13 million to 15 million, you can't buy those cars. You can't buy decent cars. Meanwhile, your salary cannot even pay your transport. Now, 5 years after, how much more buying a car? There is a massive shift. But I'm also going to tell you that this is the most abundant era in human history. This is the most abundant era in human history. So it's not actually gloom. It's not gloomy. I keep telling people who follow me that this is the best time to be alive. Everyone type it in the comment section. Every single one of you. Engage with me on this. Many of you will come back to this video 3 years, 2 years from now. If you missed it, you will come back to this video and you're going to slap yourself continuously for like 1 hour. That's what you're going to do. You just be on your desk after listening to this again. In 2 years' time, this is what you're going to do. You slap yourself continuously for 60 minutes. You continue slapping yourself harder for 60 minutes. If you miss it, this is the best time to be alive. Don't be confused by all the things going on politically, economically around the world. Yes, everyone type it. This is the best time to be alive. And that's an affirmation I want you to keep telling yourself, even in your own room. Keep telling yourself, like I tell myself, this is the best time to be alive. My goodness, this is the best time to be alive. This is the most abundant time. I just started earning on YouTube, for instance. I'm not counted among they. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I did one video, and then I opened YouTube Analytics and said, one video, $2,000. One video. What did I do? My cell phone, smartphone, talking into smartphone. I'm posting to a free platform, $2,000, one video. We are living. This is the best time to be alive. Many of us are struggling financially because we are still trying to make money the old way. Because some of us don't know any other way to make money than work, earn, spend, repeat. No. The beast system, the financial beast system is going to take you out if you don't key in. All right. So let me unpack it gradually. And then at the end of it, I will now tell you what to do. I want to tell you about my financial mentorship because that's where I pour out my heart. I do this and I give you all the information so that you can do it on your own, so that you can become aware. And if you are getting value, just get value. Tell me that you are getting value. So you can become aware, because people are already on my channel, DMing me on different places, on WhatsApp, on Facebook, telling me how my channel is making them rich. And that's my joy. That's why I started it. And I gave myself 1,000 days to do this every single day. Do you know what it means? What it takes from me to show up like this every day, whether I'm feeling ill, whether I'm fatigued or tired, whether I'm traveling in between countries or in between cities. And I do this. So you can take this and work it out on your own. Do it yourself. Otherwise, you might be the one saying, hey, Obo, I don't have time to do it myself, to figure it out all myself. Since you've already figured it, I would like to pay for lunch, to pay you lunch, because it's just lunch. That's all you pay. Just lunch between me and you for $105 or 105,000 Nigerian naira. You can't even get decent lunch these days at that amount of money. You can't. So all it's costing you is just lunch. And then you join my mentorship group where we not only talk about these things, I give you worksheets and help you through guided implementation to key into this system. And then at the end of it, it's very easy to join. How to join is actually at this description of this video. It's very, very easy. You can get started right now by the time we are done. Okay, so let me unpack. And of course, I can see value here. Yeah, that's why this is set up. If you follow what I do on my channel and you're not making money and you're poor, then something is wrong. Believe me, something is wrong. I'm practical enough and I share authentically and openly enough to inspire you to key into abundance because you deserve it. And if it is value and you haven't subscribed to this channel, just use this moment to hit that subscribe button. Do it right now. Hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell button so that whenever I'm alive, I'm live. I must say I'm alive. I'm always alive. Whenever I'm live, you will get a notification and then you will never miss a session which we hold Monday to Friday, 8 p.m. GMT every single week. Okay, so hit that subscribe button and also hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the like right now. It doesn't take you anything. Just hit that like button because I think it's very helpful to help people who need this information to find it. So why do I say that we are living in the era of unmatched opportunity, 2025? Because if you don't see abundance, first of all, in your mind, you can't have it. The muscle will always serve the mind. Muscle will always serve the mind. The mind can never go below muscle. The muscle will always serve the mind. Type it in the comment section. The muscle will always serve the mind. Whoa! The other day, I was looking at the locals who were working on my farm. Of course, they had their shirts off because hot afternoon, tropical afternoon, and all that. And they were working in the farm. My goodness. I looked at these guys, ripped. Like, literally, believe me, when I say that there's no fat, that they are like 90%, their body was 90% muscle. I'm not kidding you. I'm not exaggerating. These guys have never been to the gym, but they are ripped. You're talking about 6 packs. These guys had 8 or 12. I'm not kidding you. I had to go to one of them, take permission. I said, please, can I touch your back? I just touched hard. Because these are firm hands, muscular. But guess what? The muscle will never rule the mind. The muscle will never rule the mind. The people who think and the people who see things in their minds, the people who know how to imagine, and then who know how to manifest the contents of their consciousness, who know how to meditate, they are the ones ruling the world. Not the strong people, not the muscular people. So this is why it's important to visualize and to see the abundance, first of all. Because if you don't see the money in your mind, you will not see it in your wallet. So this is why I'm emphasizing that you've got to see the abundance of this era. The abundance in 2025 is crazy. Some stocks, we are just about half of the year. Some stocks have done YTD year to date of over 100%. Some stocks YTD have done 150%. And we haven't even reached half of the year. We are in the era of unmatched opportunity. How do I know? Let me give you a few, 6 or 7 highlights. Number one, I already talked about AI. The AI explosion is leverage explosion. Look at GPT-4.0, Claude, open source LLMs. They mean that anyone in any part of the world can access Ivy League level of intelligence for free. A few months ago, my truck had some issues. It just stopped in the middle of a road. And then what do you do with that kind of truck? If you know, I own Ford F-250 turbo, a diesel. And some of you who own that car, you've seen it, you know it's massive, very long, massive. And then I'm driving it around the place, the villages and farm, where I use it for my farming work and things like that. And so there are not too many mechanics who understand it here. Not too many mechanics. I remember once taking it for service to a mechanic village somewhere. Then the most experienced mechanic, somebody called the most experienced mechanic because they saw this massive vehicle that they don't see. They don't see American vehicles. It's mostly the Japanese and European vehicles that we have. So they'd never seen it before. So they said, oh, let's call this guy. He's very experienced. They brought that guy. For those, some of you who know, is it Coal City? There's a place in Enugu they call Coal City or something. This guy came. He's some middle-aged guy, like in his early 50s. We opened the hood, okay, what we call bonnet in Nigeria. And of course, you have to climb something to see the engine because it's really big. This man took one look at it. He said, Oga, close this thing. Make I no deceive you. I no go fit do this one. All right, for those of you who don't understand pidgin, he said, please, sir, I just respectfully ask you to close the hood. I don't want to deceive you. I don't know anything about it. I can't do, because he saw engine, huge engine. The guy just said, Oga, please close your engine and go. None of us here can do anything. Don't let us destroy your car. Now, that was the vehicle that had this issue, like in the middle of nowhere. So I called a mechanic who handles some diesel engines, big trucks and things like that, but not Ford. But at least he understood a little bit about how the mechanical system worked. Before he came, I opened ChatGPT on my device, on my phone, and I described the model of the vehicle, and I told ChatGPT, this is exactly what I saw. This is what happened. It wasn't starting, and I'm seeing this particular sign on the symbol on the dashboard. What do we do? Ladies and gentlemen, ChatGPT diagnosed that thing instantly and said, this is what is wrong. Do this, do this, do this. That was how that car was fixed. Later, I discovered that the mechanic guy himself also uses ChatGPT. Mechanic uses ChatGPT. I even heard of some medical doctors use it to diagnose and consult. That's the new economy. Don't you notice the shift? That's abundance. So the things that I could only have learned if I went to a special school in Harvard to learn mechanical engineering, to learn auto, whatever, big names. In my hand, I had access. And it is do this, remove water here, replace this part. This is the part number. My goodness. Don't you notice the shift? Don't you notice the abundance? Don't you notice the democratization of how to make money? That is 2025, for you. AI does 1,000 tasks a day that used to take a team of 100 or 1,000 people to do. It will do your research, it will do your marketing, it will do your branding, it will do your design, it will do your trading. And now it's coding. So computer science graduates are trembling. Those who used to do some programming, because AI is writing programs. It's creating agents. Literally like employees to take over. Guys, will you wake up? Will you wake up to how I'm screaming? You might be looking at me like a madman screaming like this today, but I'm telling you, in 2 to 3 years, you'll be glad that you listened to this and took action. In 2005, to start a global business, you needed at least $100,000 in seed money, because that was my space. And when I worked with Stanford Graduate School of Business as Stanford Business Advisor in the Stanford Seed Program, these were the numbers. So I'm very familiar with that space. You would need at least $100,000 in seed money. Do you know how many people in the world who can afford $100,000? Do you know that that barely 2% of the world have seen or will ever see $100,000 together in their entire lives? But the shift has happened. That's the good news of abundance. Because in 2025, all you need is not $100,000. You need a smartphone and Wi-Fi. That is your seed money. So if you have a business idea and you are still waiting for $100,000 seed money before you start that business, then you're living in the old system. You're putting new wine in old wine skin. Because the seed money today is your phone and Wi-Fi and consistency. There are boys legitimately earning $50,000 a month. I'm not kidding you. In Ghana. One of them actually gave an interview. He came short of saying that he does more than twice of that. In Africa, we don't disclose, like that. Like in America, people will just tell you, look, I'm making that, whether real or fake. But here, we don't feel very comfortable disclosing. But that guy, if I mention his name, some of you will know him because he is huge everywhere. That guy could easily be making $100,000 every single month. Now in his country, in Ghana, he's building estates. And this guy I'm talking about, maybe he's barely 30. Maybe he's barely 30. Wake up. The music has changed. The way money is made has been changed forever. It won't go back. Just like we can't go back to 2019. Remote work is here to stay. So what's the implication of this? Productivity and decision making are being democratized. Secondly, the speed to wealth curve, there's a speed to wealth curve, just got shorter. Not for the smartest people, but for the most curious and most willing. Just young people curious about these tools, just curious. And young people are playing with these things and doing incredible things quietly. Young people who are still in secondary school, still in the first year in the university, and earning more than their parents combined. What his parents earned in the past 10 years, he earns it in 1 month. Using this same thing. And then many of us are avoiding it. Number 2, there's unprecedented transfer of wealth. It's like real-time event. Baby boomers globally control $68 trillion. That is huge in assets. This is being inherited or invested right now as we speak. And then the window is 2020 to 2040. So we are just at the base of the hostic of seeing massive investment of $68 trillion. And also inheritance. They're passing on to their children and to their grandchildren and great-grandchildren. It is insane. So there's an unprecedented transfer of wealth. In fact, in Africa alone, $1.5 trillion is expected to change hands through succession and diaspora returnees by 2030. That is in the next 5 years. This is huge. Somebody type, this is huge. Because it is. Wake up, wake up, wake up. The poor people focus on the next meal. But the rich people study the shifts. Because while you can make $40 for your next meal, you can make $40 million in the next shift if you key in at the same time. Okay, so in Africa alone, over $1.5 trillion is expected to change hands in the next 5 years through succession and then diaspora, people in the diaspora who want to return. Many of you in America want to come back. Because I see you, I talk with you, and some of you are actually watching live. Because something always reminds you that this is not home. But what you normally say is there's no electricity, there's no security, and that if only there was electricity and the security will come back. If you're in that position, just type yes. Many of you would come back, and eventually you will. And all that $1.5 trillion. So Africa is going to be interesting, going to be a very, very interesting place. So what's the implication of that? The implication is that wealth is moving. It's not staying in one place. Wealth is moving. Wealth is shifting, like tectonic shift. The question is not whether. The question is, are you positioned to catch it or to miss it? It's like glacier flowing. Wealth is flowing. But some people are far from it because they are still operating the old system and the old thinking. Work, earn, spend. Are you positioned to catch it? Number 3, very, very powerful shift. Number 3, it's low barrier to entry for global entrepreneurship. Low barrier to entry. Look at now, platforms like YouTube, TikTok, Amazon, Etsy, Fiverr, Substack, name them, Udemy, allow creators to mint money from their knowledge and skills. No bank loan required. Nobody's asking you. You don't need to go and take a bank loan. Is somebody seeing what I'm talking about? Is somebody seeing what I'm talking about? Global entrepreneurship is here. don't require bank loan. People are sitting in their bedrooms, minting dollars. And if I haven't experienced it myself, I wouldn't be this confident. And YouTube is there. Wherever YouTube is, wherever their office is, Google's office, in San Francisco, and they are paying people in villages every month. If you have tasted Google money or Facebook money, type it in the comment section. Type Google money, YouTube money. If you've tasted it, I just want to make sure that everything I'm saying to you is practical and that there are witnesses here. If you have tasted YouTube money or TikTok money or Facebook money, just type the one you've tasted. Just type TikTok money or YouTube money or Facebook money. Type it, or Etsy money or Fiverr money. Because you are the new entrepreneurs. You are the new global entrepreneurs. Now look at it. Look at it in the comment section. Look at it. Rich David has tasted YouTube money. Now, for all of you who have tasted YouTube money, Facebook money, TikTok money, Fiverr money, all those Etsy money, Facebook marketplace money, tell me, is it sweet or is it bitter? Type it. Somebody has tasted crypto money. Very, very true. Okay. So, zero ad budget plus a viral idea is a potential $10,000 monthly revenue, which you can do in weeks. What's the implication of this? The implication is that the gatekeepers are gone. Anyone with truth, anyone with skill or style can build wealth from their living room. The gatekeepers are gone. Gone were the days you went there pursuing one senator or the other, pursuing one politician, one uncle to the other or the other, to introduce you to HR in Chevron, introduce you to HR in Transcorp because you want to work there. Gone are those are old ways. Some of you are still writing CV. CV is useless. CV is useless. You need a digital system like the what? Now, if you're earning, see a lot of YouTube money, YouTube money. Look at it. Just look at the chat section. And then those of you watching the replay of this, you can, there's a section you can click to see the chat, the live chat, so that you can see what people are typing here. So the gatekeepers are gone. Anyone with knowledge, with skill on anything. And then when you look at YouTube, or you look at TikTok, or you look at Instagram, people are literally selling anything you can conceive. There's nothing you type. There's nothing you imagine that people are not selling. If you imagine chicken poop, if you imagine dog language, somebody is selling, teaching people how to speak dog language. If you imagine, okay, training dog, somebody is selling, forget about teaching people to play piano, play musical instruments from 10,000 kilometers away, or teaching people English, even when you yourself, you are not an English person. It's incredible. Now, let's do a quick exercise for engagement. And I need you to tell me, what is the most surprising thing you have seen someone selling on social media, on TikTok, YouTube, wherever? What is the most surprising or funny or like crazy thing you've seen somebody selling and people were buying, or course that people were running? What's the most crazy? Give me some examples of what you've actually seen people. Like, I have seen people selling peppered snails, selling roasted fish from Instagram, roasted turkey, roasted guinea fowl. And the lady was making money. So let me see a few examples. Whoa, look at this. This is incredible. Look at that. So Bumi says she's seen someone selling snail slime. Can you imagine that? Snail slime. All right. Movie recap said he's seen someone selling Bath water. Whoa. Okay. Result is proven, says meme coins. Benjamin Sedi says maggots. I have actually seen it. I would have doubted if I didn't see it. Some guy, he actually said he makes millions a month selling maggots. So he gets some poop, gets some flies, and then he has net. And he sells maggots. Millions. They use it in poultry. I think whether he said, it's even eaten by some people. Okay? Now, whoa, Ikenla, this is very hard to believe, but okay, yeah. Human poop. Okay, maggots. Okay, then tenge funny videos. And then Pauline says, I'm teaching children creative writing, and she's selling. Anne says, bees. This bath water has come out again. It's amazing. Beans chaff. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? The sort of things people are making money online. Selling. So, people are keen in. You don't need gatekeepers. You don't need to go meet any uncle or aunt or any politician or any representative to go and talk to some CEO for you. No, that was old. That was old. This is new. Number 4, and I like this one. Financial instruments are becoming more accessible than before. Look at even today. Several decades ago, to invest in Apple or Google or Amazon, you got to have the money. But today, we have fractional investing. And with apps like Bamboo, Trove, Robinhood, Chaka, so many of them, it allows people to invest in global stocks. Someone is in a faraway country or village in Sierra Leone, and he's a shareholder in Apple. Guys, do you see the shift? Do you see the shift? 10, 15, 20 years ago, you didn't have that opportunity. And then wealth used to require bulk capital. But now, even $5 can buy you Bitcoin. $5 can buy you Apple. And then you become an owner. And when they're talking about Apple shareholders, maybe you are in an airport or you are somewhere in a supermarket, and then they're talking about Apple. Apple just made $250 billion in first quarter, things like that. You get into the conversation and say, yeah, guys, that's my company. I'm an owner. I'm a shareholder in Apple. You are, even though it's $5, you put in there. You own a piece of it. It's something, isn't it? All right, so we are living in a situation, in a place where the financial markets are more accessible using technology. What is the implication of this? The implication is that you are just one click away from ownership. Type it in the comment section. One click away from ownership. Because wealth is in ownership. It's not in renting. So the wealth class is no longer defined by access, but by awareness. Before you could have access to invest in such shares, you have to be elite. But now elite is no longer defined by access, it's defined by awareness. And you are just one click away from ownership. Number 5. You're going to love this. Number 5, the rise of borderless money, digital currencies, and fintech. My goodness. And this is at the foundation of the beast financial system. I'm telling you. It's amazing. The rise of borderless money, money without borders, is a game changer. It is a game changer for all of us, even for many of you here who are already easing your way into this new economy. So you have stable coins, Bitcoin, cross-border wallets. They are all replacing banks in emerging markets. And then remittances and freelance earnings now bypass exploitative systems. Some people have issues with Swift, the high transfer fees, and all kinds of FX manipulations going. For some of us, who are hosting our digital courses and PDFs and things like that on some of these, whatever, they take so much of your money. But then besides that, even the fact that you can stay in Cameroon and earn money from Germany, from a German customer, the fact that you can stay in St. Lucia and earn money from Fiji Islands, the fact that you can stay in Nigeria and earn money from Australia and actually get paid, guys, I find that amazing. It's abundance. It's a shift. In the financial fitness group, my mentorship, paid mentorship group, we have people from all these places I mentioned. There are people Australia, people from South America, people from all parts of Asia, Dubai, people from Hong Kong, people from UK, people from everywhere in Africa, in that place. Did you know that just 10, 15 years ago, it would have been literally impossible? I remember how difficult it used to be for me to pay for a subscription with naira in America. We take it for granted. Because in fact, up to today, PayPal is still locked up for some reason. And please, if anybody is related to PayPal listening to this, or your PayPal, please, enough of this digital racism. So in Africa, we can pay through PayPal, and we can't receive with PayPal. I've had PayPal account for over 20 years. For more than 20 years. I can only pay, I can't receive. But you see, all that nonsense is going because of borderless payment. So now, what is the implication of this? The implication of this is that Africans, Latin Americans, and Asians can now export talent and receive global income with minimal friction. You see, many creators, musicians in Africa upload their music to Spotify and they're getting paid. They're getting paid in their country in dollars. Isn't that amazing? Aren't you seeing the shift? Aren't you seeing the abundance and the opportunity? Number 6. Oh, I love this. Attention is the new oil. Please type it in the comment section. Interact, engage. I want your nervous system to connect with mine. Attention is the new oil. Or if you don't have oil in your country and you have gold, you can say attention is the new gold. Okay? Now, what does this mean? Like I told you earlier, the creator economy is now a $250 billion sector, expected to grow up to $480 billion in 2027, which is just about 1.5 years away. So it's massive. This means that your voice, your views, and your vibe. Did you like that? The three V's. Your voice, your views, and your vibes can literally print money. And some of you listening to me are already doing it. You have something unique to you. There's no second you anywhere in the world. And so your voice, your vibes, and your views can literally print money through monetization in these platforms, and then through brand deals and through digital products. Ladies and gentlemen, we are living in the most abundant of time. The implication is that you are one audience away from cash flow breakthrough. Who needs cash flow breakthrough here? That's what you need. And that is what the Financial Fitness Challenge, my mentorship group, actually focuses on. Not just making money, but having cash flow. And you can only have this cash flow breakthrough if you learn the rules of digital engagement. But there is a catch. There are also counter forces, because you know that there are always forces for and forces against. So what are the counter forces? Number one, tech is also widening the wealth gap, because those who leverage AI and digital platforms are leapfrogging traditional earners. Seriously leapfrogging traditional earners. And the middle class is thinning out. So you have to be aware of that because your goal is to enter the boat, to enter the ark before it's closed. Imagine the population of the world at that time, Noah's flood, only 8 people made it. It's frightening because we are facing that metaphor, financially speaking. We are at that place now in 2025, where only eight people will enter the boat, a fraction of the people. And you can already begin to see them. You find comedians earning $4 million, African comedians, $4 million, $8 million a year. The amount of money that all their parents, their ancestors have never made in 500 years, they are making it in 1 year. Just to let you know how powerful this is. Are you going to be one of them? Okay, so 1% of creators earn 90% of income from platforms. Why not join that 1%? So the divide is not a race. The divide now is not race. It's not gender. It's not degree, university degree. It's leverage. So you have to be aware of that. Number 2, there is attention overload. And then this attention overload also creates dopamine hijack. The algorithms are so smart. They want you to stay long enough there. Like in TikTok, that algorithm is just crazy because before you know it, you've spent 2 hours just scrolling because they've keyed into something in your neurochemistry that keeps you scrolling. So if you don't consciously make yourself a creator and you remain a consumer and you don't take advantage, that's what's going to happen to you. So the TikTok style content can trap even the smart people into consumption and not creation. So if you're like me, my own strategy is 20% consumption and then 80% creator. So I want to be a creator 80% of the time that I'm on the platform, and then only 20% of the time consumer. And then I am very, very targeted at what I consume. I have specific channels I follow, I listen to. I have specific podcasts I listen to. Everything I listen to must align with my goal, with my vision. And many times I go to listen to specific things that teach me skills that I need to do that. So we must consume because we have to continuously learn. But you don't want to be 100% consumer. And then if you're here and you don't have a thriving channel, you don't even have a YouTube channel, just know that you're a 100% consumer. And in a noisy world, attention, clarity is currency. So protect your attention. Number 3, there's inflation and currency devaluation. Like I told you, the Nigerian naira already lost 70% of its value in less than 5 years. And like 1,000% of its value in the past 40 years. Because growing up, I saw the naira stronger than the dollar. Growing up in the late 70s, there was a time that $1 was equal to something like 80 kobo or 90 kobo. And in the mid-70s, your return flight, you could get return flights, Lagos to London, for 200 naira. 200 naira. But today, a return flight, the same return flight, you will pay as much as 2 million or 2 point something million, and depending on the season. So the currency is crazy. So you can't depend on the way you are earning money. That old system, I told you it's dead. Can you see why? So if you are still working, your strategy is how can you earn more? How can you get a raise? How can you find a better work that can pay you more? Guy, you're in for serious financial shock because that world is dead. So many are earning more but saving less because inflation is silently eating wealth. If your income isn't growing faster than your currency is dying, you are not building wealth. You are just running on a treadmill. So what I've shared with you today is not just a motivational hype. It is fact. The data shows it. We are in a rare intersection of time, tools, and transfer. 3 T's. So I want you to remember that we are at that intersection of time, tools, and transfer. And those who build leverage, own systems, and multiply visibility will make 10x to 1000x in this decade that we are entering. Even in the financial fitness group, I've already given you a strategy. Taking a position in some penny stocks that you need to watch that in the next 3 to 5 years might shock you and shock the world. Many of you can literally retire in 5 years if you take just one of the things I talked about. Look at the guy in Ghana that's earning between $50,000 to $100,000 a month, not a year. And if you can do it, why not you? So even one idea from what I've shared today can literally retire you in 2 years. You don't have to wait 10 years. If you to retire, from today you're hearing this, if you take advantage of this and then take leverage. All right. So what I'm going to do now is give you the 3 leverages that you can take part in now as a kind of what do you do having heard this, where do you start? So let me give you the 3 leverage moves that you can make in the new money. Okay, 3 leverage moves you can make in this new money that I've been talking about. So leverage number 1 is AI powered productivity. Of course, you've heard me talk a lot about AI. So you no longer need people, you just need one tool plus one big idea, and then sitting on your butts until you make it work. So you can launch a product, you can launch a course, you can get your YouTube channel monetized. Key into it. So AI won't take your job, like somebody said, but someone who understands AI will take your income. Number 2, leverage number 2, global platforms, local money. So you can earn in dollars, pounds, euros, crypto from anywhere in the world. And that is what you should actually strategize to do. YouTube pays, Amazon pays, Fiverr pays, coaching pays, Substack pays. The old rule was go where the money is. But the new rule is bring your value to where the money already flows. Big difference. Bring your value to where the money already flows. So you don't need a visa, you need a value people will pay you for. Many of us have been looking for visa for years. I know people who have looked for visa for 7, 8, 9, 10 years. I even have a relation who looked for visa for up to 20 years. In the old money, in the old economy, I can understand that. But in this new one, you sincerely don't need visa. You need a value that people would pay for. And I tell you one thing, when you get, because you are going to that America because you want to find better opportunity and earn better. But if you have value that you take to people in America, okay, I haven't gotten a visa to America, but let me give America something of value. Then you're going to find that that American dollar that you were going for will actually flow to where you are. And when you have such wealth quietly, not the noisy people on social media who can let us rest with their brand new cars, their G-Wagons and things, that is stupidity. That's not wealth. But if you're quietly making your money and living in you are not a target. Nobody knows that you have money. You're just living your life, serving people, doing what you're doing quietly. So you don't need visa. You need value that people will pay you for. And leverage number 3 is ownership, not labor. Ownership, not labor. So owning systems, digital assets, content, licenses, stocks is how the wealthy stay rich. If you wake up every morning and exchange time for money, you are not building wealth. You're feeding the machine. Remember, the poor repeat tasks, but the rich build systems. What would happen to you if you miss this window? The world is not waiting. They are not waiting for you. By 2030, AI will be in every device. And then there are some of you listening to me in the later part of your life, you are still afraid of technology. If you survived it in the 2000s, you won't survive it after 2025. So get familiar with the computer, get familiar with that. In 2032, 70% of global jobs will require no physical presence. No physical presence. Robots, AI will take over a lot of things. By 2035, it's also projected that 1% of creators and builders will control 80% of digital income. So when is it? What better time than now? What better time than this 2025? Because if you don't build your system now, you work for someone who did. And that's so important. So what do you do now at the end of this whole thing? One of two things: take it and do it yourself and start something, or send this message to my WhatsApp number. The WhatsApp number is +234. Take note of it. You can type it in the chat for other people. +234 8088 000 111. Let me repeat it. +234 8088 000 111. Send to this WhatsApp message, just all you need to say is early bird payment details. What you pay is peanuts. You pay once. It's not a subscription. It's not like you're going to be paying $105 every month. Just $105 once. And then you belong to that group forever. And then you learn how to practice these things under my guidance. Or if you're paying in the Nigerian naira, just 105,000 Nigerian naira. It's actually 125. But if you send for early bird right now, I'm going to stay around. If you send it in the next 10 minutes, next 15 minutes, you will get a response. And then if you pay, you can join that group tonight. You can join this particular cohort tonight. It's every single month. I hold this for people around the world to wake people up, to help them. Okay, so Adeboyega, don't type it in the comment section. Send it to that WhatsApp number that I just called, +234 000. Sorry, I beg your pardon. +234 8088 000 111. All right. So before we draw the curtain tonight, tell me, what was your aha moment? Everyone, type in the comment section. It's our ritual. What was your aha moment today? What was mind-blowing? What is it you can't wait to implement that you heard tonight? Or you can't wait to tell your spouse, tell your colleagues, or whatever? Type it in the comment section. Everyone is a requirement. Everyone is a requirement, because we also learn from the aha moment. Okay. Yes, Flourish says, I would like AI to be part of your mentorship package. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that. Actually, there is a module on AI. There's a module, I think it's module 11 or so. That particular AI is how you can earn $500 with demonstration. How you can earn $500 every month using AI. Using AI that you're already familiar with. It's actually part of that course. Then we also have YouTube. Start monetizing your YouTube channel and earning money. from that. We also have that. I think that is module 11. So we'll get to all that. There's also stock market investing, because all the financial fitness challenge is actually built on the new economy, changing the way you see money, the way you use money, and then the way you build wealth. That's what that challenge is for. That challenge is not just to hype you to chase money, no, but to build systems and to key into the things I'm talking about. I am telling you, many of you are going to see me in your airport in the Caribbean, somewhere in Asia, Japan, Singapore. Many of you are going to see me in 5 years' time, and you're going to give me one mighty big hug. You're going to give me one mighty big hug, and you're going to take me to some really good lunch or dinner. And then you will say, as I'm entering Singapore, oh, Mr. Obo, you are in Singapore. Everything about Singapore. How long are you going to be in Singapore? And I say 1 month. He said, everything is on me. The hotel is on me, everything. And I said, who are you? He said, you remember the night that you spoke to us about how 2025 was our last chance to build wealth before the financial beast system makes you. I said, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was sometime in June 2025. So what happened? He said, I implemented what you said that day. And today, I have an asset of $600 million. So Mr. Obo, you are not leaving Singapore until I have spoiled you. If you're going to do that, say, that's me. All right. Okay, so Rachel says, aha moment is poor people focus on the next meal, rich people focus on the next shift. Absolutely. And says, the muscle will always serve the mind. Absolutely. King Duffy says, my aha moment is, you don't need visa, you need value people will pay you for. Absolutely. So you can, they say if Muhammad doesn't go to the mountain will come to the Muhammad. So if you don't go to the United States, let the United States